Basement Bookers Podcast.
What's up? It's your boys, the Basement Bookers Podcast. Rich the Riz, Basement Jer here, ready for another exciting, hopefully, episode to talk to you guys about professional wrestling, more specifically, Monday Night Raw, Smackdown, and whatever comes up. Rich the Riz, the most Rizzest baldest man. How are you today?
I'm good, bro. How are you doing?
You got to take it one day at a time, and that's what I'm here to do. I had to bleep that only because you can't curse with the first few minutes of the YouTube video. But you know what I said. You all know what I said, and I meant it. I meant every letter of the word. So, Rich the Riz, let's get into it. Let's start talking about wrestling. And before that, was there anything you wanted to say before we started?
All I know is we are on the road to WrestleMania. Raw heated things up this week. We're going to talk about Raw. We're going to talk about how maybe SmackDown was some filler.
Yeah, I gotta say, if I bought a ticket, unless those dark matches are like really freaking good, I'd be wanting a refund.
Oh,
So,
they're probably recording WWE Speed
oh yeah, that's right, which is Wednesday, I believe it
Wednesday
debuts.
noon Eastern on X.
Yes, it looks like you caught on. You did not dead name X. Great. Um, so really, the top of the top story is promises made and promises kept. Now, on Monday Night Raw, The Rock was not announced. The Rock showed up on Monday Night Raw. He came out when Cody was there. Cody said some shit. I don't remember what it was. It was pretty important. Something about finishing a story and The Rock. So
Yes.
Rock comes out, just almost pulls a Chris Jericho where he's just not going to say anything, but he does say something. The Rock's lips, you can't really read them, but I'm pretty sure we know what we said. And I think he said that he was going to make him bleed or something, boy.
Mm.
Because Cody said, I believe he said he made a promise he couldn't keep.
Mm.
And boy, howdy. Now, this happened at the main event. It was, I believe, Jimmy J Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And Jay won the match. And out comes Jimmy, and Solo.
Right.
And brawling, they're fighting. Seth, he helps out Jay. Who else helps Jay? Is it just Cody comes?
Right. So the brawl started. I don't mean to jump in here. The brawl started during the match. Match was still underway. Jimmy and Solo came to ringside. Immediately, Cody and Seth came out. Right. Seth and Seth and geez, it's late. Seth and who did I just say? Solo.
And
Seth and
G's.
Solo
Yeah.
brawl around ringside. Drew comes out, attacks Seth. Meantime, Cody and Jimmy brawl to the back, and after the match finishes, Cody fights off Jimmy. Solo attacks Cody, fights him off, and then boom, The Rock.
Then comes The Rock. And look, it's probably his best work, but there's a lot of look at him, look at you, look at your boy, look at this.
Look
That's
at
all The
me
Rock's
now.
really
Oh,
saying.
look
Look
at
at
me
him.
now.
And hitting
Oh,
them with garbage cans, just tossing a lot of trash all over the place. Obviously, pre-placed garbage cans. It wasn't even real garbage.
Chita.
No one put any garbage in there.
Chita. A lot of that.
Kind of remind me of like Mankind, The Rock, without the steel chair, which is what they would have done had there not been concussion protocols. And Cody would happily take those chair shots. They brawl to the outside. This is such a huge thing that it wasn't really spoiled for me, but I knew something was going to happen because of my mother. I'm not mad. I'm just stating what happened because she watches every week. So my mother calls, and I'm not there yet because I don't like to watch commercials. And she's like, "Did you see that? Did you see the match?" I'm like, "Well, Mom, I'm catching up here. It's these commercials that I can't take, these pesky commercials."
Getting
And
there,
she's like,
ma.
"Oh, okay." And then I'm like, "All right, well, I guess I got to stay on here and continue my journey." And there it went. The Rock did what The Rock did. He kept his promise to Cody Rhodes. Finally, The Rock, and it happened. And there's a lot of funny things that happen in social media when you because I like to go on there after shows to see what like people are talking about, and sometimes they say the most ridiculous shit.
Mhm.
So in the shot, there's a production truck,
Mhm.
and on one side you got John Cena, and then the other you got Stone Cold Steve Austin,
What?
and they're all like, "Oh, did you see that? That means John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're gonna help Cody." And my favorite ones is who's gonna cost Cody at WrestleMania.
Mm.
Somebody's like, "What if Seth betrays Cody? What if Pharaoh? What if Pharaoh were to betray Cody?" And I'm like, "What if Cody betrays Cody?"
Mm.
Because I've always said that the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania will be The Rock saying that Cody screwed Cody.
Mm.
And honestly, this Bloodline Rules thing, we've talked about this. It's a dead giveaway. You can't give me a stipulation and not go through with the stipulation.
Right.
Everybody's talking about how Seth is going to take the pin and this and that. I really think it might be Cody. I think The
It.
Rock might pin Cody Rhodes.
I think you're right because that would then be the story going into night two. It's like Cody ate the pin. Cody lost his momentum. I mean, maybe they could have Roman pin Cody
I
just
mean,
just to really like get in Cody's head.
yeah, well, it's okay because he's just going to pin him the next day. He'll just get him the next night. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. Like
Right.
you're gonna have to throw it up. Look, it's too
Hmm.
close. Okay, it's too close. I real it just I look. I like Cody. I don't want Cody crybabies mad at the Basement Bookers podcast. Both Rich Deriz and I were a little confused and perplexed at the Royal Rumble win and not going after Roman after specifically not just pointing at the WrestleMania sign,
Hmm.
but pointing at Roman Reigns.
Right.
If the plan was always for Rock and Reigns, you should have kept it ambiguous, just pointing at the sign and have him challenge Seth on Raw.
Right.
Like that whole thing is what kind of threw it off, and they kind of shot themselves in the foot doing that.
Hmm.
What do you think about that?
I agree. It would have built suspense a bit more had Cody just pointed at the sign, then looked up at Roman, look up at Seth, look up at Roman, and look up at the sign.
Yeah, because it's like, well, we thought it was going to be Roman he would go after. What's going on here? And Roman didn't do any favors here either when he's talking about where he didn't just bury the world heavyweight champion, the Seth Rollins Please Don't Go championship. He didn't just bury it. He
Mm.
like took it, he removed the plates, he melted them down, and he made like little rings, and then he like distributed them all over the world to be buried, uh, never be seen or heard from again.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, that's the number two belt. It's like, no, we know that, but you can't say that. Look, we all know that, but please don't do that. And that's really the corner that they put themselves in.
Mhm.
And I get that The Rock is upset that storyline wise that it was taken from him, Roman Reigns versus The Rock,
Mhm.
which we'll still get.
SummerSlam.
That- SummerSlam would be the move.
Mhm.
From what I understand, The Rock's going to be doing movies like
Yeah.
after WrestleMania, so he's not even going to be around.
Mm.
So, which is fine, and he could always come in SummerSlam.
Mhm.
Fine. Like I don't need to see The Rock every week.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because The
Mhm.
Rock's special. Um, What you got anything on that or
So about seeing The Rock every week or not, yeah, he's special, but he might not necessarily have talent, a specific talent contract like the way that certain other part-time talents that may or may not be canceled at the moment,
well, he could do
right?
what he
Where
wants.
yeah, exactly, he could. He's the boss. He could just sign another contract for himself, probably. But
No one's gonna say no. You can't show up, The Rock.
exactly, yeah. Like, listen, they they need The Rock. The people need The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock said something on Instagram, and I want to share it real quick. Whatever. So this is what The Rock said. This is what The Rock says. The Rock said, I hate constraints and bullshit rules. And just because some WWE producer says clear, meaning we are no longer live on the air and the show is over, that doesn't mean I just stop whatever I'm doing and tell everyone great job. It fucking pissed me off. I can't shut my emotions off just because a script says we're done. But this is a microcosm of a larger issue I have with individuals, corporations, and governments telling us what we can or can't do. You have to do it this way, you have to say it that way, or you'll get canceled. They create fear if you have a different perspective and don't live by their rules. It's their way or no way. Fuck that. I say it the way I want to say it. I do it the way I want to do it. My choice, our choice, final boss.
Mhm,
And look, man, The Rock won me back, because I was having some issues with The Rock, you know, and look, I get it. He's part time, whatever. But this is nothing but good for the business, especially if you're like a fan of WWE, just wrestling in general. I do take umbrage with the wrestling is cool again because we always thought it was cool. We've always been doing this, you know what I mean? And happy to see a lot of people come back to the fold, of
mhm,
course, not gatekeeping or anything like that. So as long as things stay cool and no one tries to change it just because they're just coming back and they want it their way, I'm cool with that.
mhm. One
Um,
thing one thing I like that this is doing is it's sort of making it so that in order to follow everything that's going on with the storyline, you really need to also tune into his social media. And social media, I don't know about this WWE Speed show coming up on X starting this Wednesday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, allegedly. But social media is where it's at, right?
yeah.
Like they don't even talk about ratings anymore. It's interactions.
Hmm.
So so I mean the like later on down the road we'll know how successful this was, but this is sort of a whole new level of gaining engagement, gaining viewership on social media. More people on social media are going to see it outside of wrestling fans, rock fans in general, for because from his acting and his Hollywood career, Terramana, and they are going to follow that. They'll be intrigued and they'll say, "Okay, let me check this out. Let me see what he did. Oh shit, he beat the shit out of that Cody Rhodes kid. Wow, what did he do
Well,
to piss him off?"
The Rock is the most famous man in the world. Well,
Mm,
one of the most famous men in the world. Like, so, outside of former presidents of the United States, like everybody knows The Rock. You know
mm-hmm,
what I mean?
mm-hmm,
And this is the video in question. If you have like childrens that shouldn't even be watching this because we already dropped like bombs all over the place, they shouldn't be watching this shit. So let me just bring that video up in question from The Rock, and I'm gonna share it here. And then, yeah, The Rock, like he's really impassioned here. Like, I feel like it comes from like a real place, a guy who really wanted something and it was taken away from him. Or at least that's the story he's that we're being told here. It's gonna make this even bigger, and then I'm gonna share that. I gotta click on the box. Okay. There you go. You can see that there clearly. It might get a little loud, so bear with me here.
Clear, you stay down. Fuck that. Clear, guys. Fuck that. You shut them up. Clear my ass.
It's very important to have a clear ass. No
mm-hmm.
feel that after they're done. Um,
Right.
How did that feel? Did that feel good? What, just because the show's over, that doesn't mean that the shit stops. The Rock doesn't give a fuck. Huh? You should cry. You should cry, boy. Look at that blood. Now, look at this blood.
That was for real. So he really whooped him.
Yes, yes. What? Show is over and then it stops? Fuck that. Your script? Fuck that.
That's probably also on the set of Fast and the Furious, probably.
Mm.
I would love to see behind the scenes with The Rock.
Come here, Vin.
This is what happens, boy, when you fuck with the final. Come in here, cameraman. Look at that face. Look at that. Huh? Now, Mama Rose. Mama Rose. This is for you. That's for you. I'll see you at WrestleMania.
And The Rock, he just walks off.
Fuck him.
I really wish it would have cut off right where he's like, fuck him.
Mm. One other thing should have been, I'll see you at WrestleMania, bitch.
I think that, yeah, I think like it was more serious without that. You know what I mean? Like really just like I don't want time for this. You know, he's like really angry,
Mm.
so upset. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of believe that. And it takes two to tango. Good on Cody, good selling there, which I don't think much was necessary of the selling part, but still.
It's a big, heavy arm swinging a big, heavy belt.
Yeah, I really thought The Rock was going to throw him off the.
Yo.
It's like an episode of Monday Night Raw, or I think he threw Stone Cold into a river or some shit like that. I don't remember, but
Rocket Austin.
yeah, I was playing 2K24 Showcase, and you have to go through things. It got to X7, and interestingly enough, so a certain gentleman is blurred and like all of the things where he's supposed to be a man who used to run things, but at the end of the Rock Austin match,
He's actually blurred?
yes,
Wow.
but let me finish. At the end of the Rock Austin matches,
Mhm.
you'd remember what happened at X7 was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. And
Mhm.
Stone Cold said he needed to win, and he didn't win it clean. That's when Vince McMahon came in.
Mhm.
And it's there. He's there. It's the video too. It's not like game. Like they show
Nice.
footage from the match. So it's
Cool.
like I guess they didn't have a choice. So,
Mhm.
but still, that's something interesting to bring up. In relation to that, I have to get past. I forgot what the next one is, but after that is Brock versus Taker, and I wonder what's going to go on with that because you take control of one of them, and I'm you got to take control of Brock because Brock wins the match.
Yeah. 100% they're going to have the actual live footage of Heyman. Oh my God.
Yeah, and that famous fellow with the eyeballs.
Yeah.
So we'll see, I guess. I wonder if there's going to be a similar situation like that should the unlikely occur. Why are we even talking about this? The tribal chief Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and everyone. Like, I really wish Dustin would show up like at WrestleMania, but things the way they are. I really think something needs to be done here.
I don't think it's entirely off the table. I honestly don't. With
Yeah,
with what they've been doing with Impact, sure, it's a
it's a
little
different
bit.
relationship, right?
It is, but like one guy for one storyline. Dustin's not doing anything on AEW TV, right?
Currently, last I saw, he wrestled. He was in a promo against the Butcher, and I think they were gonna wrestle or something. But
Well,
And
that's obviously very high profile. Sorry, Butcher. No,
super high
no
profile.
disrespect, Butcher.
I think they should just team up. Like, it's not like AEW's doing like ridiculous numbers right now. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'm sorry to say that, Mercedes Monet just showing up is not really going to do it for people.
Yeah, they touted like 740 whatever thousand views. Like, that's not a lot.
I mean, it would be for us, but like for like a wrestling show, a prime time,
Yeah.
8 o'clock,
Hmm.
you know, and I'm pretty sure just the segment with Punk, we can't overlook that. Like, apparently, there was an old standing ovation at the end of Raw from the people there,
So,
and
mhm.
I, I guess we should segue to your favorite segment of the show, CM Punk. Yeah,
Yeah, and I wanna give a real quick, right? Not I don't like what Punk's backstage shit, right? On screen, I kind of just don't want him there because off screen, I don't want him there. I don't want him fucking shit up. First off, you could tell Punk, Seth, Drew, that segment was for the most part ad libbed, right? You could tell.
it did
You could
feel
absolutely
like it's
tell.
my turn to talk. Now you talk. That
Yeah.
kind of shit.
Yeah, there was a little bit of overlapping. There was the quick jokes with Drew saying PG pal or whatever he said, PG pal, PG buddy, whatever it was. Um, but
But he
damn.
did say,
Hmm.
Drew said, I was the chosen one. And
Hmm.
then Punk said, who made you the chosen one?
I
Say
dare
it.
you. Yeah, yeah, he said, I dare you to say his name.
Yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure he was cleared for all that shit. Like, he could just say what he wants. And from what I understand backstage, he's been very good with everyone, even with Seth. Like, they may not, like, they're like working together on this. Um, According to Becky and her book, or maybe
Hmm.
not her book, but somebody asked her about it. But like, Seth was legit upset because they didn't tell him that Punk was going to be there. He legit didn't know, allegedly.
Wow.
Like, no one knew,
Hmm.
but because like he considers himself a top guy,
Hmm.
he thought he should have been known. He should have been notified about that. So like like we speculated, his reaction was legit. Like, he was really upset.
All right, but not necessarily upset at Punk,
I
but
don't know, dude. That looked like a little dog that seen like a big dog, and he's just really angry and barking at him. Like, that was. We saw the clip, dude. Like, we watched it here. That looked legit. Like,
I wonder. So I wonder if he took his anger about not being informed that Punk was there and decided to display that in a way that could work within a storyline with Punk.
look, I think it was gonna be a story anyway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or they pivoted. Like, I don't know
So
because
so it- so it's the please don't go versus the we wish you didn't come back championship.
I mean, that's you. Like I said, like him suing his own friend, like I can't really ever wrap my mind about that. So it's his personal life. I don't give a shit about. I don't care. It's none of my fucking business. He didn't do anything to me. It's
Right.
still a grimy thing, and I'm not gonna hold him as like some. He's a performer.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's all there is to it. You could
Hmm.
either buy the shirt or don't buy the shirt. You can cheer or you can boo. It's not for me to judge anybody. That's up to whatever you believe in.
Right.
Whoever can judge you. Okay. That's not up to me.
Right. But now just to bring it back to this past Raw and that segment, I'm gonna give it to them. I loved that segment. I loved the ad lib feel that it had, the the pushing of each other that they kind of did um when Punk told him to say, hey, yeah, who was it that called you the chosen one? I
Yeah,
like
like people were
I
getting
like.
flustered. Like I felt like they were really getting flustered, like really
Mhm.
upset, like up in their feelings.
Mhm.
And when like they're like, oh, maybe I should be the special guest referee. It's like you can't even move your arm, and like Punk's like he can count to 3,
Yeah. He
and
got the other arm.
yeah, he's like he laid there waiting for Drew just to come on in there. He's not afraid of him or nothing like that.
Mhm.
Typical stuff. You know, no freaking like too over your head or whatever. Like I
Mhm.
did catch the Cornette reference. He says he prefers the drive-through or the experience when he was
Yeah.
and I thought that was pretty funny. And he just left it and kept going.
Mhm.
There's no like waiting around for people like no, he just kept it pushing. He kept it to what was happening there.
Mhm.
So he's gonna be on commentary apparently
Mhm.
for Drew versus Seth.
So someone's gonna get tossed into him. Got it.
Maybe, and he could even prevent a cash in. You know what I mean? I know. I know. Could you imagine Damian Priest feuding with CM Punk just off to the side, just for a little bit? And then
I
the
don't
new
know.
memes can start with CM Punk trying to say something, and then the Judgment Day music plays.
The more like I'm cool with that, but I think like the more I think about it, the more I like my idea of Drew beating Seth one way or the other, right?
It
Drew
could
winning
still
the title.
happen.
Right, Drew wins the title from Seth. Maybe Punk does get involved in that, right? And then Punk gets like taken out, whatever, to where he can't help, he can't do anything, and then Priest comes in and cashes in and wins the title off of Drew immediately.
Yeah. But
Because remember when Drew won the title, he defended it immediately against the Big Show for we still don't know why. They still haven't given us a real reason as to why that happened. I guess Big Show's last match in WWE.
maybe. Yeah, that was weird.
Right. There's never an explanation given. It's just that was his last match, right?
Yeah, it had
Okay.
to be. At least
Mhm.
high profile, his last WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was like, yeah, this is just too fast. Let's just have another match here with the Big
Yeah.
Show.
Listen, show, there's your revolving door. Just go through it and you get your match. And
How
then
come
just keep
nobody
walking.
mentions that he beat Brock Lesnar and Big Show at the same time, in the same night? I mean, but I guess you can't mention him because he's like never existed apparently.
Yeah, they could probably say Big Show, and then he's not because he's not Big Show anymore. They own the right. WWE owns the rights to the name.
Yeah, but
No more BS.
look, good on him. He's collecting a check.
Yeah.
As far as I know,
Mhm.
good on all those guys doing that. Good on Kyle O'Reilly, back at it. He thought he would never wrestle again. In case I forgot to mention that.
Mm.
Um, so Sami Zayn beat Bronson Reed. Um, Andrade picked up a win against Ivar, which if you blink, you miss it. And yeah, Ricochet was ricocheted all over the place
He
on
did.
JD McDonough. Like that
Yep.
match was something special. It's like, did they take
Ding ding.
the
Doo.
safety off of Ricochet? Is he
Kind of
back?
did. I guess he's back. I'm thinking he's back.
I mean, I guess he's back.
Hmm.
So Jey Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Did you like it?
It was a good match. It was. Then obviously the extracurricular stuff started, and then it's like, all right, so we knew this was going to happen anyway. I just didn't know it was going to happen during the match. And then yada yada. Bob's your uncle. There's a dub.
Yeet.
Yeet.
So Candace is still doing the Candace stuff. She's a heel.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Indy Hartwell still not.
Confuzzled.
Yeah, she doesn't like it. It's obvious. I think
Mm-hmm.
this was equals Ivy Nile was on the receiving end of an L. I guess it's because Candace was mean to Maxine.
Yep.
Indy Hartwell is fun to play in WWE 2K24. I use
Cool.
her. I started like a My Universe with her,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets kind of boring because like I had to like end a feud with Shayna Baszler by myself because every Monday
Mm-hmm.
I was wrestling Shayna Baszler every Monday, and we
Wow.
had like 2 pay-per-view matches, and the bitch won't leave me alone. So I had to like turn that. I had to end that rivalry.
That's at least like 8 matches right there in a row.
Yeah. And it's like, and I go for a long time because I'm trying to get 5 stars, you know?
All right,
So
there, Mr. Marathon Man.
I do 5-star matches, buddy. It's all about variation. But that's besides the point. We're not talking about that shit. So let's talk about SmackDown before we
Yes.
lose our memory.
Bring it back.
Because I got to say, compared to Monday Night Raw, this wasn't it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
The biggest deal was Jade.
Mm-hmm.
Jade Cargill. She's got new music, I think. It's not her regular one. I thought the red outfit was cool. I'm like, she's not gonna be able to wrestle in that, and I was correct.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I don't remember what she said exactly, but she's, some people are not as good as talking as others. You know what I mean? She kept it short, which is good. Basically, that a storm is here,
Mm-hmm.
and here's another forecast for you. This has the best women's division in the world, and I'm better than all of them.
Yep.
Keep it locked. What
That's
I
right.
said. But and then she leaves. Well, actually goes to commercial, I think, or to
Yeah,
the next thing.
she was flexing.
Yeah, which we get big and
Mhm.
shrunk. You know, Io Sky absent from SmackDown because she caught a beat down during a cool promo. I love when they let her just speak Japanese and you read it. I'm like, oh, this is like when I have to read subtitles in anime. This is
Mhm.
great. And it's like I'm pretty sure I could understand what she's saying, but I had to read it anyway. And Bailey beat the shit out of her. So
Yup.
Bailey, of course, not on SmackDown this
Mhm.
Friday. So Bianca Belair main event, Dakota Kai. Um, in no universe would I ever believe that Dakota Kai could beat Bianca Belair. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Dakota Kai crackheads out there, but you Dakota crackheads need to chill the F out because Bianca Belair is the EST and Dakota Kai, I'm sitting there, I'm watching, I'm like, holy shit. It's almost like with her knee going into the post and stuff, that felt like heel work, where
Mm.
she got her, like Bianca knew exactly where to get her,
Mhm.
and really just it wasn't even fair.
Right.
And she did the wrong thing. You
Mhm.
don't spit in the wind, you don't tug on Superman's cape, and you don't mess with Bianca Belair's hair.
Right.
And she paid for it.
Mhm.
And after the W, here comes Damage Control, and there's a beatdown. Naomi comes for the rescue, the numbers game, which
3 on
3
2.
on 2, which really Dakota it's more like 2.5. Dakota Kai did just lose a match,
Mhm.
and out comes Jade, kick in the stomach to
I
Asuka.
was surprised Jade came out, honestly.
Honestly, I thought it was gonna be Bailey, but I wasn't so much surprised. Like I thought it would be Bailey, but
Mhm.
there is precedent for this because a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
Jade Cargill was there, and Damage Control was out talking their shit, and
Mhm.
she did not like that.
Yeah.
So
You got to watch those backstage interactions. Real quick, speaking of backstage
Monday Night
interactions.
Raw with Drew McIntyre and Paul Heyman.
Yes.
Well, I
That's exactly
figured
where I
that
was
was
going.
for the main event thing that happened.
Mhm.
So I thought that's why. I thought that's why they had that conversation.
Probably.
Unless,
Heyman was like smartening him up, telling him, "Listen, we're going to go out there." So,
yeah, well, 2 things. Either we're gonna go out there, this is gonna benefit you. You could get some licks. You could get Seth back for what he did to you at the end
mhm.
of that segment because he
Do-
did hit him.
Yep, do some back scratching of each other there.
Or it could be a deeper thing, because remember, The Rock said he could make that belt go away.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a little apprehensive. Like, I like your idea and it could still happen,
Mhm.
but what if The Rock wants Drew to be the champion? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
The Rock keeps saying he could make that shit disappear. And it could be either Damian Priest or it could be Drew. But just keep an eye on that.
What
Keep an eye
if
on that.
what if the culmination of that statement is just after Mania, a unification match.
I mean, it would make sense with how they treat that championship,
Mhm.
but it can't be with Roman as the champion. Because the whole reason for that belt being there is because Roman's not around,
Right.
you know?
hmm
So that would depend on what happens on night 2. But we think Cody's going to lose.
Yeah.
Because even with bloodline rules, and even if John Cena shows up or Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk
But
Hogan, the ghost of Bruno San Martino, and Dusty Rhodes in a tag team tandem is not going to stop the tribal chief from throwing it up.
I don't know, but they're in Philly. It could be a surprise return to Shane Douglas.
Shane Douglas, Rocky Balboa, the ghost of Apollo Creed. It could be any number of those things. Carl Weathers could just show up. You know, he's Apollo Creed.
No, I know.
Okay.
No, I know.
Okay. Are you trying to verify his current existence on the astral plane? I did
Yeah.
mention Bruno San Martino, who we do know is not. So what the hell are you doing?
You know what?
And as
I
far
do
as
have,
I know, unless Dusty's chilling with Elvis and Tupac, also Dusty.
yeah,
So,
fair.
I don't know. I really
Dusty
don't
Rhodes,
know.
daddy.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Mhm.
And regardless of that, I'm still hyped up for WrestleMania.
Yeah, man.
You
And you know
know,
what? You know what?
I do know.
We haven't told the Bookiverse yet, have we?
Yeah, we're gonna be at Raw,
We're going to
but
be at Raw. The tickets are in my inbox. We have VIP. Those poor schlubs at front row, they're going to be jealous of what we got.
oh my
Trust me.
god, oh
Trust
my
me.
god, I'm gonna wear my best hat,
There you go.
not this one. So it's not my best hat. This is my lucky podcasting hat. I don't want anything to happen to it, so I keeps it here.
hmm
But yeah, nonetheless, it's gonna be pretty awesome. It's gonna be fun. CM Punk's gonna be there. The Rock's gonna be there. Cody's gonna be there. I think everybody's gonna be there. It's the last. It's the go home.
Yeah.
For WrestleMania,
hmm
and it's gonna be loaded. We can't trust SmackDown to be good.
Right.
So
Listen, for those of you unfortunate enough to watch this coming Raw at home, the first hour for you guys is going to be commercial free.
oh shit, cool.
So
Good
yeah, they said
shit.
that they said that on SmackDown tonight, which is cool. So that means there's going to be a lot going on. We know there's going to be a lot going on. I have high hopes for this episode of Raw at the Barclays Center, live. You know where, you know when, you know what station.
I'm gonna definitely make sure my phone is fully charged.
Mm,
Because video and stuff like that, yeah, I'm not gonna be on the phone, guys, all the time.
right.
It's just when don't worry about it. I'm not that guy.
Gotta
I'm
live in
not
the
that
moment.
guy. I live in the moment. You know what I'm saying? But look, if mommy's around, what am I supposed to do? What exactly am I supposed to do?
Sit in the corner and ask for a stink face.
Look, I'm not as lucky or blessed as Nia Jax, and also I'm married, and I'd get into trouble.
So
So
so so I'll sit in the corner, right? And if she doesn't see me, you say, "Hey, mommy, he's over there. Go, stink face."
yeah, listen, I ain't calling some strange lady mommy. All right,
Oh, she's not a
listen,
strange lady. She's Rhea Bloody Ripley.
listen, listen. That's not how I get down. I get it though. I get it,
I didn't say
guys.
mommy. It's mommy.
It's mommy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's weird to me. It's weird. It's weird. It's okay though.
Fine,
Listen,
fine.
it's all right if you want her to step on you. It's fine. It's
I,
okay. It's
I mean,
okay. It's
I would say
acceptable.
no, but that's not the preference.
No, it's not because it would hurt because she's fucking strong. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she could pick Nia Jax up. You know what I
Listen,
mean? Like what chance do we have?
no, and that's okay.
Just knock the wind out of you. Could you imagine getting a riptide like that? Actually, I'd be okay with that. If I got a riptide, you know what I mean? Like the way it's done.
You get that little bit
That's
of a
cool.
little bit of reach around first.
Yeah, exactly. So before we degrade ourselves even further, um, so there was, speaking of Judgment Day, there was some backstage stuff with the Judgment Day. I think there might be, like, it's been showing a little bit that even on Mondays, it's been a little bit JD McDonough still can't get shit done.
Mhm.
Dominic Mysterio doing things without even smartening people up, as Damian Priest says.
Mhm.
And he's like, what are you smart? He's like, what are you implying? And Finn Balor's got to be the peacemaker. He's like, look, the Judgment Day is going to do great at WrestleMania. That's what's going to happen.
And Priest said, uh, it's gonna like there's a lot going on. What were his exact words on SmackDown this week? Let me find it here. Give me just a moment. Um, he says WrestleMania is big for them, not just as a group, but as individuals.
Yeah, because him and the cash in probably
Yeah, and
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea thought he was talking about her.
Yeah,
I know he was talking about being Senor Money in the Bank.
yeah, and it could be two things. Making sure Rhea Ripley stays focused.
Mm-hmm.
Because Becky Lynch, we can't forget about Becky Lynch cracking Dominic Mysterio in the face, and
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Ripley bringing up Becky's daughter, and Becky did not appreciate that shit. She got super emotional talking about her father who never got to see her,
Mm-hmm.
and like I thought she was gonna kill her, but it was a very serious, very like getting us ready for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. That was another really good segment too. Raw was just so good this week.
Yeah, and if that's this one,
Mm-hmm.
then the next one's gonna be even better because the tribal chief Roman Reigns is scheduled to be on Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
So we're gonna hear Cody's music
Mm-hmm.
and experience the entrance of the tribal chief and acknowledge the tribal chief for real, to breathe the same air as the tribal chief, to receive greatness into our bodies.
This is our first show post COVID.
Yeah, it is. You know,
This is big.
um, yeah, it is pretty big. What else is big is the Grayson Waller and Theory are going to make it to WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And due to the interference of the lamest faction that I can think of. Look, I'm sorry if you guys like this Final Testament, whatever the hell they want to call themselves. I think they suck. They're boring, and I don't like them. Like, I like Karrion Cross with Scarlett, but I never understood the big deal about AOP. Like, what are we doing here? They're just two meatheads, two meatballs,
Mm-hmm.
and grandpa. You know what I mean? And like they just ruined WrestleMania for the Street Profits. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably gonna be a 6-man on SmackDown.
For me, my main thing is I would like to know why Karrion Cross teamed up with these guys.
Uh well, it's because TikTok and books. Since the authors of pain like to write books,
Mm.
Karrion Cross likes to read books and tell time. I can't
Okay,
think
and,
of anything else really.
and they all do that on TikTok.
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
Um,
I got it. I got
yeah, dude, I don't know. And no disrespect, they're probably very talented. I just feel like the ball has been dropped on Karrion Cross, and the whole time everyone's trying to like pick it up, but like their hands, it's like, you know what? No, it's like chasing a chicken. Like they got to catch the chicken. It's just running around, and they keep trying to catch it. They just can't get him.
Yeah.
It's too crazy. They're trying so hard.
They gotta go for both carrying Cross and AOP. I think the best thing for them, whether you keep them together or not, is they got to go back to their NXT presentation. Cross, sorry, got to shave your head again. You just look completely psychotic when you do, and it works, right? And AOP, just have them come in, destroy, leave. Feed them some jobbers every week, then have Alpha Academy stand up to them and get destroyed, and I don't know, just like let them work their way up to the tag titles.
Yeah, like some W's. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Street Profits. I love them, and I don't need the Street Profits to go against these guys for me to like them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I get that they're lame as shit. They'll be not the Street Profits, but this
AOP.
AOP. They're lame. They're lame. I'm sorry. There's just way better teams.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much better teams. Like DIY is better. You know,
Yeah.
um, I'd rather watch them. It
Maybe I
just
mean maybe we'll get DIY versus AOP. I mean AOP they're SmackDown guys, but whatever, it could happen. There's a draft coming up, and tag titles are on both shows, so
Yeah, man, these tag titles. But look, if anybody ever gets offended, AOP if you're watching, Karrion Cross if you're watching, and this goes for my buddy here too.
I'm retarded?
So don't worry about it. All right, don't take offense. Don't take offense to us because we're just two guys. We're just having fun. Talking about professional wrestling. Rich Perez.
mhm.
Was there anything else you wanted to bring up before we head out?
It looks like this thing with LWO and Legato
Oh, good point.
is still going. So we got Ray and Dragon Lee, newest
Dragon
member
Lee, the
of the
newest
LWO,
member. I guessed it, by the
versus
way. I'm like, I said it before he did. I'm like, yeah, Dragon Lee. Okay. Like it's a surprise
yeah. Like it wasn't going to be Andrade because they got Andrade earmarked for doing something
with the
with
Judgment
Dom.
Day.
Yeah, on the Judgment Day side. So you got Dragon Lee and Ray and versus Dom and Santos.
Yeah. His fake son and his real son. He
Right.
was like a son to him and
hmm
actual son to him.
I mean, I kind of just can't wait for Legato to be past this and to have Santos really on a tear.
Yeah, the LWO, I take it personally because I don't like the fact that the LWO is lame.
Yeah.
Like, as a Puerto Rican fella, partly, all
hmm
the things, but they gotta be cooler than that, though. You know,
Carlito doesn't get any cooler than Carlito.
I mean, look, not even Carlitos Cool can compensate for the lameness of the rest of that team. Like Ray, Carlito, Zelina, and Dragon Lee.
Yeah, and in that segment, right? And Dom asks who his partner is going to be, and Ray is like the newest member of the LWO, Dragon Lee, and you see Carlito back there smiling, but like, fucking him, really?
What am
I
I doing
saved your
here?
ass, bruh.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
good point.
like,
Carlito could
they wrote
factor
Carlito
in.
in, they wrote him off, and now they're writing him out.
Think about it. He could factor in
hmm
because it's like, why is he there?
hmm
Is he another manager like Zelina Vega? He wrestles.
Yeah, and at the moment with the addition of Dragon Lee, and so with the
Carlito
Dragon
looks
Lee.
great.
Yeah, he's in fantastic fucking shape. But with Carlito, with Dragon Lee on LWO side, and Dom temporarily aligned with Legato, that's still 6-on-5 if we count Zelina and Electra Lopez.
It's true.
So there's opening for one more, and maybe that's where Andrade steps up.
Maybe it is. I
I don't know.
I don't know about the Andrade Judgment Day thing though. I feel like
I
it
don't-
looks like that's where it's going, but I don't think that's where it's gonna go.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily a Judgment Day thing, but it's definitely a Dom thing.
Well, they did want to recruit him though.
Yeah, there's that, but I don't necessarily think he's gonna join. I don't think he's gonna join.
Mm.
I'll say
Uh,
swap him for McDonough.
who's been
Mr.
taking L's
Yeah,
and Andrade's been winning.
Mr. Losing Streak McRoblox.
Yeah. I mean, Dom's not doing much better.
Mm-mm. He's not even letting them know what he's doing.
Exactly. It's supposed to be a family, a familia, if
Mhm.
you will. Speaking of, let's talk about NXT briefly because I don't know if you saw it, but something happened.
Okay.
Now, Mark Henry has ruined retirements forever. So here comes Ridge Holland, and he's out there. He's in a suit, not salmon, just a regular
Mm.
suit, guys. So this might be
Boo.
real.
It's got to be salmon.
And he's basically said he's retiring
Mm.
from wrestling. When you do it there and you're a young fella, I don't think that's happening. I think he's going to come back as a heel,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to F somebody up, you know?
Yeah.
And so Ty Dillinger, the perfect 10 himself there, or is he Sean Spears here?
Sean
Yeah,
Spears.
he's Sean Spears. He's going by his given name
Mm-hmm.
that he owns because it's his name. And that's his real name? That's his real name,
Huh.
right? It's got to be. Anyway, even if it's not, I don't care. So he's out there and he
Not his real name.
damn it. So Sean
Ronnie
Spears,
William Arneal.
I would call myself Sean Spears too if that was my name.
There you go.
But actually, I don't know. Just Ronnie's a cool name. I like that name. Ronnie.
Ron
Ronnie.
Arneal.
Ronnie.
Hmm.
Ronnie.
Ronnie. Eh.
Yeah, I forgot what happened. But I do know that that crazy motherfucker, what's the dude's name with the happy face?
Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy threw a chair off the roof at him. I'm just returning this to you. What a weird guy.
Eh. He's getting paid.
Yeah, I think he should host Stand and Deliver. There's like they try to look for a host for Stand and Deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Ridge Holland's gonna retire?
No.
Boy, I can't wait till Obafemi beats up everybody that they put in front of him at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
Like this
So
guy, yeah,
mhm.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say because anytime I hear "stand delivered," I can only hear it in the pretty deadly voice. Stand and deliver.
Let me tell you about those guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I was playing 2K
Mm-hmm.
and I had to tag team. It was me, it was Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes because that's who
Nice.
I have for that
Mm-hmm.
that I could use against Pretty Deadly in a cage match.
Mm-hmm.
And the game cheats. All right, maybe skill issue. I don't want to hear anything. I was so mad.
Mm-hmm.
I was so upset. I went and I set up a 2-on-2 backstage brawl match.
Mm-hmm.
It was me as the tribal chief tagged with John Cena.
Wow, they can't even see him.
Exactly. And you could go up to like the top, like the rafters and stuff. You take the elevator up. I threw the blonde one off into a light, one of those spotlights.
Wow.
It felt great. Like we beat them so
The
bad.
Elton Prince.
Yeah, we beat them so bad. I felt so much better. I take shit personally when the game cheats. Anyway,
Mm.
that aside, wrestling related, okay?
Yes.
That's really all I had outside of the disappointing Friday night SmackDown, hoping Monday picks up.
Yeah. Can't wait. Raw. This past week's Raw is gonna be tough to follow, but I trust. I have trust in the current regime.
Trust the process.
I trust the process. Um, I think unintentionally SmackDown was just a little weak, because like they don't have as much time to work with. Roman only has so many dates, Rock, this, that, the other. Cody obviously you know. But this is it. They know they gotta go big for Raw. Also, Barkley said it. Also, how as of SmackDown, right? They said tickets still available. What are you doing, guys? Get those tickets.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
We
I
got
really
ours.
don't know. Yeah, it's loaded. It's gonna be good and we'll be great there. So let's get out of here. We gave you guys an hour of Basement Bookers podcasting, and
Mhm.
maybe you'll see us on Monday Night Raw or something. I don't know.
Right. Look for
Uh,
us in the VIP lounge. And of course, as always, the socials is down below. The Patreon is down there. The Patreon has all our links as well. And just got a party message.
the match of life is scheduled for one fall. To make it up,
Do what the man says.
follow the Booker.